You want?
What do you want? No identification.
Let's just go. Go down the window.
No, la voy a abrir.
Hey, you can't do that.
All right, so you're looking at video of federal immigration agents firing at a car Saturday in San Bernardino. In a statement this morning, ICE says 2 Customs and Border Patrol officers were hit as the person accelerated his car and 1 officer opened fire. Federal agents tell us San Bernardino police briefly detained the man, but he was set free. The driver argues he did not know who the masked men were. And other cases raising the alarm among immigrant advocates, including the death of a day laborer who was fleeing from agents when they raided a Los Angeles Home Depot. Witnesses say the man was struck by an SUV while trying to get away. And last month, you might remember this, a farm worker died from severe injuries after falling 30 feet off of a roof while trying to hide during an ICE raid at a legal cannabis farm. For clarity on how to respond if approached by federal agents, we're joined by Javier Hernandez, Executive Director of the Inland Coalition for Immigrant Justice. Javier, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for the invitation.
So, Javier, let's talk a little bit about the incident that happened in San Bernardino. The guys in the car drove away after the window was busted. They said they didn't know that who these people were, but in the video you can see that one of them had a police logo on their chest. So can you describe to us what happened here?
Yeah, you know, what we're seeing more and more often right now with these operations is that even though these, you know, in this case, these agents did have their vest, the idea that we're supposed to just identify people based on their vest, I think that's a fallacy. We need to make sure that folks know who's pulling them over, right? In this case, this family asked multiple times for ID, for a badge, you know, identification, and they were not given that. Secondly, they were never asked. They never said that they were immigration. All they said was, "Open your doors, open your windows." And so what we're seeing again is just a new tactic or increasing tactics that are going to create more fear in the community and that could create more. That could create more harm in our community because folks are very scared of what's going on. Now, one thing that's important to note is that many people think that there are bounty hunters out there that are coming for their communities, that are coming for them, and that it is not ICE. This is a case where people felt that way. Whether that is true or not, the problem that we have is that the federal government is saying that they still don't have to present an ID, that they still don't have to show their face, that they don't have to show a badge, and that they don't have to show a warrant. And that just leads more and more people to be scared of whether or not these are agents or they are bounty hunters that are trying to take them.
Okay, I want to get back to the identification process in a moment, but this case of bounty hunters, is there any validity to those? Have you? Is there such a thing, or can only people who are being sought after be taken in by federal agents?
For the Inland Coalition for Immigrant Justice, we have no validity to to those conversations. We do tell folks and remind folks about their rights, and we remind them what officials look like, right? Agents look like. However, because there is a lot of misinformation out there, there is a belief that this might be true, and the federal government has yet to clarify whether or not they are using bounty hunters, and we think it's just a part of their tactic of fear. Instead of clarifying that no, it's only agents that are able to do this, they're basically leaving it out to people to figure out on their own, or to fear that there might be bounty hunters out there in the community.
Javier, when these federal agents are looking for immigrants in the country legally, as they say they are, what evidence are they required to provide to the person that they confront?
Yeah, well, you know, we talked specifically about this case, right? This family was stopped, was told to show ID, to get off the vehicle. Every American, regardless of immigration status, you have a right to ask questions. You have a right to say, you know, who are you? What is your, you know, why are you stopping me? Is there a reason for you to pull me over? Those questions are things that folks can legally ask. In this case, as you saw this video, this situation escalated within less than 30 seconds, right? And so we also think that that the federal government needs to implement some rules on how they are escalating these incidents and how they are able to de-escalate, right? Here, folks were asking for ID, they were asking questions, and they were not given that. Most times when ICE comes to your door and they want to go into your home, they have to have a warrant to go into your home. If you allow them to go into your home, then they are able to go in. But if they don't have a warrant, you don't have to open the door for them. If you are pulled over by ICE or any other agent, you also have the right to ask for any for identification for them. You also have the right to ask why they pulled you over. Most importantly, you have a right to remain silent at the end of the day, right? Everyone has a right to remain silent. But what we're seeing here is that this, ICE again is on this fear campaign that instills not only fear, but now we're seeing that folks are starting to they're fighting for their lives. This family felt that they were fighting for their lives when they fled. They actually were the ones that called the San Bernardino Police Department right as this shooting happened. They called the San Bernardino Police Department to report it as a shooting. Later, it was turned around and said that they had hit some officers, which according to the videos that we're seeing, we don't see that anywhere in the videos.
All right, Javier, we've run out of time, but thank you so much for joining us and providing your insight into what happened this weekend in San Bernardino County. Javier Hernandez, Executive Director at the Inland Coalition for Immigrant Justice, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.